This is an updated beginner's guide on how to set up and use the Bitwarden password manager. If you've seen the last beginner's guide, there will be many new tips and advice in this video, along with going over the new features that Bitwarden has added. Before we can start with Bitwarden, we must do the most important step first, and that is create your emergency sheet and master password. It's important to pick a good master password, as that is what is used to encrypt all items in your vault. It's also important you don't forget it, so we'll have you create an emergency sheet. Now that we got our emergency sheet started, we can create our Bitwarden account. So now go to bitwarden.com and press the Get Started button at the top right up here. So now we can start filling in the information. Once you've done all that, then you can press the login button and we can log into your account. Before we go too far, Bitwarden in this section up here wants us to verify our email address. That's pretty smart to do, so that's what we're going to do right now. To do that, all you do is press the Send Email button here. Then go to your email account and look for that email. Then when you go to your email, you'll get a message that looks like this. All you gotta do is press the blue Verify Your Email Address Now button, and that will verify your email address with Bitwarden. When you have verified your email, it'll tell you you have verified your email and it takes you back to the login page. So log back in so we continue. Now that we verified our email, there's one more step we should do to secure your account, and that is turn on two-step, or often called two-factor, on our account. So the way we do that, we go to our little person icon here at the right, top right, click on it, and then go to Account Settings. Then go over here to the left under Account Settings. Underneath My Account, we'll go to Security, then two-step login. And we have this very important warning, but we have to activate one of these before we can get our recovery code. The recovery code is something very important we want to write down, but we got to turn one of these on. In the free account, you get authenticator app like Google Auth, Authy, or you also have email. I'm going to set up email because it's the easiest for most people to understand, easiest to get going, and it's better than nothing. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to the email, I'm going to click on Manage. Then it will ask us for our master password, so enter your master password, then press Continue. Then it's going to ask you what email address do you want the codes to go to. The default one is the one you sign up with. Then you press the Send Email button to get the 6-digit code, so I'm going to press it now. And it says it sent it to my email address, so I'll wait for it to come to my email address. Then you enter it here. All right, I got an email from Bitwarden with my 6-digit code. It is 732632. Your code will be different. The code changes every time. This is confirming that you actually own that email address. Then once you enter that code from the email, click Enable, and it tells you it's been turned on. Next thing you do is you want to close. Do not click Disable. Click the Close button. And you got a little green check mark right here to let you know you have email 2FA or two-step turned on. The next thing we need to do is go to View Recovery Code. It's going to ask you for your master password, so enter that, then press Continue. Press the Print Code button, print it out. You can staple it to the back of your emergency sheet. That works too, or you can manually write it in to their spot on the emergency sheet. Click on the shield icon and go back to your home page for your vault in the web view, and we can start showing you how to use Bitwarden. To make your life easier when using Bitwarden Password Manager, you want to get the extension for your web browser. I'm using Chrome, but the steps are pretty much similar for any web browser. And since most people use Chrome, I'm going to show you how to do it in Chrome. To get the extension, you click on your person icon at the top right, then go to Get the Apps, and you can scroll down. They also have desktop apps if you want to use a desktop. You don't need to install the desktop app. It's fine just to use only the browser extension. We go down to the browser extension area, click on your browser. Since I'm using Chrome, that's what I'm going to click on. And then it takes you to the Chrome Web Store, and you click on the Add to Chrome button here. It's going to ask you for permission. Go ahead and press the Add extension after you read that. And it's going to add it. And sometimes Chrome will hide the extension. Just go to this little puzzle piece here, click it, and this little pin, select that, so we always have Bitwarden in view right there. Now that we got the extension installed in Chrome, you click on the Bitwarden icon in your top of your Chrome area here. You press the login button, enter your email address and master password. Bitwarden saying clicking outside this pop-up window to check your email for your verification code will cause the pop-up to close. Do you want to open this pop-up in a new window so you don't lose it? For most people, I would just say yes, just pop it out, because it will close and you basically have to start over and log back in. But let's see, I got my code here. I'll enter my verification code. Remember, your verification code is different than mine, so enter whatever they emailed you. And click the Remember Me button just for them to remember you, so you don't have to keep in your two-step code. You only enter your two-step code, 2FA code, on a new device or when you reinstall the plugin, and press continue. And we are logged in, so I don't need this little window anymore. That was just a convenience thing. And there it is. The first thing I'm going to show you with the Bitwarden extension is how to create an account. Most people's first instincts is to go and start filling out the form, but don't do that. What you want to do first is click on the Bitwarden extension, and you want to fill out the Bitwarden items first. You can press the added login here or press this plus button here. Then you want to fill out the username, password, whatever this website requires. Some requires actual username, some like this website require an email. So go ahead and fill this information out. Bitwarden does supply a username generator here. You can click that, it'll overwrite whatever in there. You can have it generate a username for you if the website requires it. This particular website wants our email address, so that's the what we'll put in there. Then for the password, since we don't already have an account with the Weather Channel here, we're going to create a password. So you do that by pressing these rotating arrow buttons and generate whatever password you want. This is to cycle through. That's the copy. You can select the length that you want. You can do uppercase, lowercase, numbers. You can have it however you want. No numbers, add numbers. These are the special characters if the website requires it. And you got your minimum numbers, minimum special. You can select whichever you want. Avoid ambiguous characters. That means avoid using like ones and O's because they look like the same as zeros, and like the O and the zero look the same. So it's going to try to avoid using that. And this is your password history. This is all the passwords you've generated on this particular computer, on this particular extension. This will live here. So if you need them, you can copy them there, or you can clear it out if you want to. Once we find a password we like, we're going to press the select button. And there's our password. You can press the I to view it. You can press the check mark here to see if it's been in any breaches. They already have the URL for us. Sometimes I like to clean it up a bit. remove the sign up part and just keep the basic low level of the domain like weather.com. You can put it in a folder, you can favorite it, you can have a master password reprompt, so it won't show you the password until you enter your master password, so a little bit extra safety thing. Kind of smart to do maybe for your bank account, but not necessary for every account. You got notes section, so you can put your security cues here, security questions if you wanted to, if the website had them. This particular website doesn't seem to need them, and your custom fields. And then we go, and once we're happy with that, we press the save button. There it is, it's saved into our Bitwarden account. You click on the item, the name, and it will fill it in for you. Pretty nice. Then you can fill out the rest of the form. And read to whatever the website wants, and then you can press the sign up button. What's interesting about this website is that it says they want a special character. Well, we didn't have a special character added here, so we go back up to the extension. We're going to press this button, the view button, and we're going to edit our password. And you can, if you want to, sometimes I just add like a special character, whatever they require, I'll add it to it, or you can regenerate and have a new password. But to satisfy this website, I'm just going to put a special character at the end. I'm going to press save, and we're going to close it, and we're going to have it fill again, and it looks like they're happy with it. And we're going to scroll down, and we're going to press the sign up button, and we're officially registered. And we go back to the home page, and you created an account in Bitwarden for our website. Up next, I'm going to show you how to log into a website using Bitwarden. So go to the login page for that website, go to the Bitwarden extension. You can see how there's a 1 next to it. That's the number of accounts that Bitwarden is telling us that we have. So click on their icon, and it's going to pop up what items we have for this website. So you can have multiple weather.com websites if you want to. But we're going to fill in this one. So you click the name, and it automatically fill in the username and password for you. Another way to do this is a keyboard shortcut. So I'm going back to the login page. On Windows, it's Control-Shift-L. On the Mac, it's Command-Shift-L. And on Linux, it's this Control-Shift-L, and actually will fill in the password, the first one for you. And if you have multiple accounts for this particular website, just keep pressing the Command-Shift-L, and we'll cycle through them for you. Then just press the login button, and you'll log in. So to change a password using Bitwarden and the extension, this particular website wants the current password, so we go up to the extension, we click it, and you have this view button. You can view all your items, but you also have a username copy button here and a password copy button. And this little clock thing is if you have the 2FA or TOTP. That's only a premium feature, but we can copy password by pressing this copy password key button, and we go over here and you can right click and paste it. And this particular website shows you an eye, so you can confirm that's the one. And we can get create a new password. So I go back up to the Bitwarden extension, select it, then press the view button, then go up to edit, then we go to the password field, press the generate password, these little arrows here. It says it's going to overwrite your password. That's fine, because we actually can get the old password back. I'll show you how in a little bit. Press yes. And this particular website requires special characters, so we'll make sure we give them some special characters. And just generate one till you find one you like. I like that one in particular, so I'm going to press select, then save. That's our new password. Once you view it, you can press the copy button. It's in our clipboard. Come back over here and paste it in. And paste it in. And once you've pasted your password in and they're satisfied with it, you press the save button to save your password. And the website lets you know that you saved your password. Some websites have a username and password and maybe something else like a company ID or a group number or something else that they require for you to log in. Bitwarden can also fill that information in for you using custom fields. So I'm going to use my website here where I have test form fields for you to play with. We've got the username here, we've got a password here, we've got a company ID here. So I want to also fill in the company ID. So to do that, what you do is you right click it and you go up to the Bitwarden item here. You can also like autofill if you want to autofill. There's no matching items here, so I won't autofill. You can copy the username, copy the password, generate a password, but what we want is copy custom field name. That's going to copy it to your clipboard. So when I'm creating an item on this website or adding to it, I'm going to press the add item, username, whatever the username is, and whatever the password is. But that custom item we want to add, the company ID, come down to the bottom under custom fields. There's this new custom field. You click it. The name will be whatever you copied. So Control V will paste it, or Command V on a Mac, or you can right click it and do the paste that way. Then you enter the value. The value is what you want to go in that text box over here. So maybe it's a company number, so you enter that in and you go up here and you press save. So when we go to this website and we want to log in, we click on the extension, we click on the name. It will not only fill the username and password in, but also the company ID. Bitwarden does also have the feature where it will recognize that you created an account or input a username and password and that item's not in your vault yet. So I'm just going to demonstrate that here. Just creating whatever account here just for demonstration purposes. And press to create account and you'll get a little pop-up here. Should Bitwarden remember this password for you, you can select never, or you can put it in a folder, or then you can press the save button and it will save that password into it. Bitwarden also has Idenities. This is where you can store your address, phone number, and such information, and Bitwarden can fill it out for you. So if you're on like a checkout page, you could fill out your address and all that, credit card information if you wanted to. So you click on the Bitwarden icon here in Chrome to create an identity. Press the plus button to add an item, and the type will be identity, and you can name it whatever relating to it. So sometimes I do me, so I can put my information in there, and you can select your title, username you like to use for a lot of your websites. Put your phone number in there, your address, you can put it in a folder, you can favorite it, match the password prompt, you can have notes in here if you wanted to, and the custom fields if you need it. So if there was an item here that wasn't listed, you can have a custom field for it. Then you press the save button. Then you have an identity right here located below the logins for that particular website. You can click the view button to view it. And if the website in question has like an address field, clicking on it will fill in whatever there. Since I had a username field here, Bitwarden filled it in. If I had my address, it would fill in the address, phone number, and all that for you. So it makes checkout and creating some accounts a lot easier. All you do is click on the Bitwarden icon and you select it and we'll fill it in for you. To demonstrate how useful the identities filling in for you can be, I'm at Starbucks' website and we'll use it to fill in the information for us. So you click on the Bitwarden icon and go underneath identity and press your name. And as you can see, it will fill in your first name, last name, and your email address. Now that we got the basics out of the way, we can go and explore the extension in more detail. Clicking on the extension itself will bring up more options. This little icon here is to pop the window out, so always stay in view. Sometimes when you click out away, the extension goes away, but you can always bring it back because it creates a little item down here in your taskbar. Click on that, and you also have next to that the search your vault, so you can search for your different items in your vault, like Starbucks, password bits. Start typing, you'll start looking for the items in your vault. And the plus button, as we've seen, is to create a new item. Down here at the bottom of the tab, that relates to whatever web page you're on. So if you have a login item for like Starbucks, like we do here, it will show here where you can click on it. You can view the item. You can press the I button to view it. You also have this option to number each item. So some websites require the 3rd, 4th, 8th character of your password to log in. So this is how you would see it and view it here with these 1, 2, 3 button. That's to check to see if that password has been in any breaches. The I is for viewing. That's your copy button right next to it. The website goes here. Clicking this will have you launch the website itself. And the copy button right next to it. You also get your notes and a custom field with a copy button next to it. And then right next to the tab button is your vault. This is everything in your vault organized for you. You got your login, selecting that. You can view, launch the website, copy the username, copy the password, and if you pay for premium, you can also store the 2-factor code there. And you also have a card. You can put your credit card in there. Just press the add button, fill in your credit card. It makes checkout a lot easier. Expiration date, security code, all that. Just like the identity, you press the name and it'll fill in your credit card information. Secure note, you can create a note. It's just basically a place to dump a bunch of text. You can name it in the notes section, put it wherever you want there, and you can save it. Then you got a secure note. You can copy what was in that note field. You can bring it up just like the login items. You can see it. And if you have folders, this is where you organize your folders. I don't have anything in folders. If you want to put something in a folder, just select the item, go to edit, scroll down, and have your folder there. To create a folder, we got to go to settings. That's the first one there. Add folder's name, save it, and we go back. Go back to the item you want to add. I'm in the vault. Add that to that folder. Go to edit. Go to folder. Select that folder. Then hit save. And you have your folders here, now organized. Clicking it, you can put your items there. It's just a way to organize your vaults. So you can have one folder for work and so on and so forth. Next to vault is send. This is the somewhat new feature. Send allows you to send something to someone securely, encrypted. So you can create a send by the same process before, name it whatever. Since we're not a premium account, we can only send text. So you can hide this send text by default. You can have it send link saved to your clipboard, makes it easier for you. You also have more options down here. So underneath options, you can have it deletion date. You have 1 hour. You have custom. I think it stops around 90 days, so the max you can go. You can do 1 day. You have expiration date. You can have a maximum count, so this is as many times they can see the item. You can also password protect it. This password to protect is a soft protection. It's just a simple check. So the real encryption is in the actual send URL, so you can add it just to be actually cautious. And you can put your note there. This note is not related to what you're sending them. This is just for your personal notes. You can also hide your email address from the recipient, and you also can disable it if you needed to. And when you're ready, press save, and then you have created a send. You can copy a send link. You can remove the password, and you can also delete it. So when you press that copy button, it copies the URL to your clipboard, so you can just send it to someone, paste it in. Basically, you're sending it to them securely and encrypted. And the magic is within the URL itself. That part right there, the URL, is actually the password. So the message or the file you're sending is encrypted with that password. And the beginning part up here after the hash is where it is in the database. And what's interesting about Send, or basically web browsers in general, is anything after this hashtag sign is ignored. So Bitwarden doesn't see anything, just that they know you're going to send.bitwarden.com, and your web browser locally starts parsing the information, grabs it, then decrypts it with the password that's in the URL. So it's a secure way to send something to someone without actually sending it over by email, which is sometimes open and not secure. It's a great idea if you need to use it. So if you need to send a password or something obscure to someone, or maybe you're buying a house and you need to send some documents to someone, you would need the premium feature to send files, but it's a lot more secure than emailing to them because you control when and where, how much they can access that file. And next to send, you have the generator. You can generate username and passwords. The default here is password. You can press the generate button as before. You can see passphrases. Passphrases are basically multiple words. So they're passwords with multiple words. You can select the word you want. You can have a separator. You can capitalize it. You can include a number. And kind of question I get is, when should I use a passphrase over a password? Basically, you use a passphrase for anything that you may have to manually type in. That's your master password, email password, anything in general that you would think you had to type it in. Even like a Netflix password, it would be great to use a passphrase, because sometimes they make you enter it on the TV remote, and that's a pain. Where entering this is a lot easier than entering something crazy like that on a TV remote. And of course, you have your password history, so you have every password that's been generated on this device and in this extension. This doesn't get saved to the cloud or nothing. This just stays locally encrypted on this machine. So the password history won't be the same that's on your iPhone or Android phone. Then next to the generator, there is settings. This is where you can manage your folders, add them, delete them, so on and so forth if you want folders. Sync, this will sync your extension, your vault, to the cloud. All your data is stored encrypted on Bitwarden servers. They are encrypted basically with your master password. That is why it's important you don't forget your master password. And that's why that emergency sheet was so important. All right, underneath that you have security. Security, you have vault timeouts. This is when the browser extension will lock. You can have it immediately as you close it. 1 minute, 5 minutes. On system lock, restart. Never if your threat level allows it. Most people choose 5 minutes at work or 1 minute, depending on your threat level and who's around you, how quickly you want your vault to lock itself with a master password. Underneath that, you have your vault timeout action. Lock and log out. Lock will require your master password to be entered, and log out is completely remove your vault contents from this computer, and then you're required to enter your master password and two-factor to get back into your account. So depending on your threat level is the one you go with. Most people should choose lock and vault timeout on browser restart, unless you're at work, maybe you want 5 minutes, whatever works for you. Then underneath that, you have unlock with PIN. Selecting that, you can enter whatever PIN you want, whatever makes your life easier. But the PIN is not a replacement for your master password. It's merely for convenience. The PIN never leaves your device. So you could technically have a different PIN for your phone than your browser extension can also have a completely different PIN. The PIN never leaves your device, and it's merely for convenience, and it's not a replacement for your master password. Just to make your life a little bit easier, instead of typing your master password You can just enter the PIN, and 5 wrong guesses of the PIN reverts back to master password. So it's pretty secure. It's just merely to make your life a lot easier for logging in. And if you want, you can uncheck this, and it won't require your master password after the web browser closes. But if you check it, it will require a master password out when you reopen the web browser. You can also have unlock with biometrics. You will need the desktop app if you want to use that. So you can use your Face ID or Windows Hello if your device supports that. So you can, instead of unlocking with the PIN, it can unlock with your face or fingerprint. Next, we're going to talk about the settings and features inside the web portal of Bitwarden. A lot of it is the same type of things like you saw in the extension. You have the send functions here. You can see your send and all that right there. You also have tools, so you can have a password generator and generate your password. You can import your data, so if you have another password manager, you can import the information through this way. You also have the export function, same as the extension. You can export all your data there. You have reports. A lot of this stuff is for premium users, but you also have data breach, where it just checks your email address to see if it's been in any breaches. It uses the have I been pwned database, so you can go there too and see the exact same information. Just press the check breaches, and it's check to see if you've been in any breaches or your email has been in any breaches. You can also enter any email there you want to, so it's a nice little tool to have. Click on the shield, take you back home. All your organizations, you get favorites, anything that's in the trash. Keep in mind, items in the trash for more than 30 days will be deleted. So trash is not a storage place, it's the trash. You have your logins, cards, identity. You can also click on it and view all the items in there, and your folders and secure notes. But we're going to go click on the person icon and go to account settings. Then this is all your account stuff. Your name, you can change your name if you need to change your name. Your fingerprint phrase, which is only used for sharing. You don't have to remember it. You don't have to write it down. It's just for 1 or 2 times you may have to use it when you're sharing a password with someone for the first time to make sure they're the right person. You can change your email address here. You must enter your master password in a new email address and the danger zone. So you can, of course, delete everything if you need to get rid of Bitwarden. This is where you do it. Most people don't want to worry about this unless you're very sure you don't want to ever use Bitwarden again. Then we have the security tab. This is where you can change your master password. Like I said before, you can change your master password if you know your current master password. But if you forget it, there is no resetting it. There is no changing it. Keys are kind of these are encryption key settings. It's kind of an interesting section. Bitwarden uses key stretching, so basically it makes your master password stronger without you having to really do anything extra. So you would enter your master password here. And right now they only have PBKDF2 2FA. It's a key stretching algorithm. And you have your KDF iterations. This is what makes your master password stronger. It's more of a linear strength. As before I said, 4 words is $2.5 million to crack. That's how much it would cost. But adding 1 more 0 will make it $25 million to crack. So you can see, but the problem is your slowest device, which usually is your phone, because you can crank it up. Bitwarden allows for 2 million, but you don't want to do that if you have an older phone, because it could basically freeze up your phone because it's going to spend a while trying to calculate the master password, and that's what it does. It's taking your master password and going through this one 100,000 rounds to divide your key that is used to unlock your vault. So I would tread lightly and do what they say here. They say it only increases every 50,000. I probably would keep around that number and test it on your slowest device. But for most people, don't even mess with it. For average people, 100,000 is fine. And when Bitwarden determines it's a good time to increase that, they will do it for you, and it'll be pretty much a seamless process for you, and you wouldn't have to worry about it. You probably wouldn't notice it. But if you have the latest flagship phone that's out right now, and it's the higher end expensive ones, you could go to 2 million iterations and be just fine. But If you don't know what you have, you don't know what you're doing, I would just keep these at the default 100,000 rounds with this KDF algorithm like it is. You also have your preferences for the web portal. This only controls the web portal, so you have vault timeout. Maybe at work you want to make it 5 minutes. You can have it lock, it tells you what it does, and you can change the theme. This is the subscription. This is where you get premium. You can see the cost and all that and what they accept. Currently it is $10 a year, so you can select it. You can also add extra storage. You can encrypt things and put it in the cloud if you want to. Right now they do default 1 gig, but you unlock extra features. You can read all about it here. Your payment methods and the billing history and all that there. Domain rules is where they combine equivalent domains. So Google owns YouTube, so that's why Google, Gmail, that's all in there. So they see it as the same thing, so it makes it logging in easier, especially with Apple.com and iCloud. It's the same company, they just use a different URL, so they got the equivalent domains here. If you need to add one, you can do it through here. And emergency access, it's a premium feature. I do recommend it. It's very nice to have. Once you pay for premium, you can set up someone else as your emergency contact. So if you get locked out of your account or something happens to you, maybe you're in a coma or maybe you pass away, that other person, once you set it up and confirm it all, they can go into their Bitwarden account, activate emergency access, and they will have to wait whatever time you set. It could be instantly, it could be a day, it could be 7 days, it could be a week, a month, whatever time frame you set, that's how long they have to wait. And once that time frame is up and you haven't canceled the emergency access, because you'll get emails every so often telling you, hey, your account's emergency access has been activated, and what you need to do to deactivate it if they prematurely activated it. You can also remove them if that's the case too. But once that's up, they will have the option to get into your account. Bitwarden has 2 of them. You have view and takeover. View is just view your main items in your vault, basically this, but they don't get access to organizations. And takeover basically allows them to change your master password and they get full access to everything. And it's all done securely, all done encrypted using private and public key encryption. And that is the general settings of Bitwarden's Web Vault.